Getting to go.
Brews and Banner Podcast. Brews and Banner Podcast. What up? Welcome to Brews and Banner Podcast. I'm your host, Rob G. And with me, as always, is the Legendary Brew Crew. What up, fellas?
I got water, I got juice or whatever. He's like, y'all need twin legs? Matter of fact, I do.
My question to everybody is,
Does Delaware have an actual culture?
this is the podcast that we talk about beer, but we also talk about a lot of things that's happening in the world. Politics, movies, anything really that comes to our mind while we're here sampling these brews. Grab a drink and pull up a chair.
Yeah.
Don't never stop if you want to be on top. Yeah.
Back, baby, tap in. Tap in. Diamonds dancing on your neck, better tap in. Tap in. Getting money, get rich, baby, tap in. Tap in. MLB, icy gang, better tap in. Tap in. Wrist on good.
Oh, tap in. Look at tap in.
Right.
Perfect song. Look at that.
That's not the perfect song. We should have played
Perfect
too late
song.
to apologize. It's too late. Yeah, that would have been a perfect.
Tap in. Well, Rob had to tap me in. So perfect.
That is right.
Hey, guys.
What up?
And ladies.
Welcome to Brews and Banter Podcast, where the top is the rocket in the brew. Well, that be the fuel. And I'm your host, Rob G. And with me, as always, the Legendary Brew Crew. What's going on, fellas?
What is going on?
What's up, guys
Everyone.
and gals?
Hello.
Hello. This is episode 92 of Brews and Banter Podcast, and is volume 24 of our social distancing series. So that means we do have a special guest with us today, all the way from the Shy, Mickey Bryant, Black and Brew Chicago. How are you today?
Hello, I'm doing good. How are you guys? Y'all got me partying this early afternoon.
Yeah, there you go. Welcome to the party.
I'm always
Welcome to the party.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we like to start it off, get a little hype.
On a good foot.
Good foot. Yeah.
Start
Like
off
I
on a
said,
good
this.
foot.
Like I said, this is episode 92, and we want to. But before we get into all this, we need to know, what is everybody drinking today? And we always start with our guests. So, Mickey, what are you drinking today?
today. I am drinking "Resting My Greatness" by Short Throw Brewery out of North Haven, Connecticut.
Greatness.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to sometimes when I go to the bottle shops, I like to follow breweries that are with social justice of any kind, and they are really big on it. They are really big on giving artists a try. Let me see the can. What it is, I'm drinking a stout. It's a stout with Roastivus coffee, maple syrup, and vanilla. It comes in at 11.8 ABV. Yeah, so I'm doing that. That's kind of
There you are. Woo.
so I had taken
Night Winslows.
right. I think it's nice and roasty. Right now. Right, I'll start singing in a minute. Yeah, yeah. So I'm happy I picked a pretty good choice so far.
Good.
All right. Yo, what are you drinking?
So y'all gonna talk about me, but I swear I had this for like 3 months, yo, and I just decided to open it. This is from Imprint Brewery. This was the last one.
They're your
that I
people.
have. This was the last one that I've had.
Yo, next time you go up there, you got.
Look at that.
I'll take out a can
Yo,
opener.
let me
What
tell
is
you,
going on with the can?
I opened the can like this because it was frozen at first, right? But since then it's melted. But it was frozen at first, so I had to open the can like this. It wouldn't pour out. So that's not how the can's made.
I'm about to say, like, done did some nice shit.
Right,
Yeah,
man,
that's
nice
the
shit.
original, like,
Can't open the device that you use there.
Yeah.
a regular can opener, man.
Oh, we actually had a can
Whoa.
like that opened like
Y'all
that.
do have a can opener that opens like that?
Yeah, we have a can opener.
You can't opener. Your can opener opens like this. You usually can't open it wrong if your cans don't open like this.
Oh, okay. I don't open cans like that.
Yeah, see,
For the people that aren't watching, he actually took the top off of a can.
yeah.
He didn't like pop the tap. He didn't pop the tab. He actually
took the top off, man.
But for the people that are listening, you can't see what he just did again. So
but guess what?
Right.
So
I'ma
that's how
sell it.
actual canning kind of happens too, right?
Yeah,
Like when
yeah.
when they can, they
Yeah, they
can.
just put that lid on it and seal it.
I'm gonna put my own beer here and seal it back up and resell it.
All right.
People ideas.
This
You know,
is
they get creative.
a double rainbow grape, and this is just like a grape smoothie type beer. It's real sweet, and that's why I had it frozen at first, but now it's not frozen, so it's like extra sweet.
I was about to drink that the other day. Glad I didn't say.
Nah, you could have had your way, man. I wouldn't have cared.
I'm just joking.
You could have drank this, but you can look at it and see how thick it is in the.
Oh yeah, that looks just like a
glass.
slush.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
I know that tastes good.
it's real sweet, and it's a 6.2 ABV, and so it got your grape flavor in there. You know, it's just tastes like somebody just took some maybe like some grape jelly and just like mix something in it to make it
beer.
Make it so you can drink it. Yeah.
Or
that's pretty much what it tastes like.
That's good. What kind of
what's good?
Again, what kind of style is that?
It's the smoothie. The smoothie.
Okay.
Yeah, like smoothies. They call their smoothies.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Dope.
But it's good.
All right, Deb, what you drinking?
Oh man, this one is. I'm in heaven right now.
You got Hennessy.
Sorta. I would say it might be. But this is a brew from Decadent Ales. This is their banana macadamia fudge cake. Brewed with bananas and macadamia nuts.
Oh, nice.
And they're this is Decadent Ales out of, let me mess this up, Mamaroneck, New York.
What was it?
Mamaroneck.
That sounds about right.
Sounds good enough.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's right.
Mamaroneck. So Mamaroneck.
If I can't correct you or call you a liar, it's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Anybody watching knows.
Yeah, the second time, it's like you've been there.
I was there, right? So this came courtesy of our beer share. Shout out to Vince Turner for doing a beer share and doing a swap. He was up in New York, grabbed this for me, and I'm enjoying it. What's our guest name again? Mickey, right?
Mickey.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mickey.
It's Mickey.
Mickey.
Yes.
Top shoe 12.5, baby.
Oh, okay.
So we both gonna need pillows.
Right.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
But I got yard work to do, so I ain't got time for sleep.
Oh, you ain't got
You ain't doing no yard work.
Drink that and then do your work.
You ain't doing nothing. You ain't doing nothing. Yard work.
Somebody said we drinking dessert beers.
Yes, we are.
Man,
Today
you understand.
seems
Like
like
sometimes you gotta have that.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Sometimes you gotta have something that tastes a little on a sweeter side.
Right. Yeah. Lou, what you drinking?
In the same vein as dessert beers, I have this Kirsch Gose. It's a sour cherry beer from Victory Brewing. They're out of Downingtown. Is Downingtown local for us? How far is Downingtown?
Yeah, pretty much. That's local.
Maybe like 45 minutes.
Okay. So local. It's made with real cherry juice. It has a lot of cherry flavor in it. This is what it looks like. Pink in color, pink cherry almost in color. It tastes like a Gose. It's very delicious. It's at a low ABV of 4.7. I didn't say it. Yeah, it's not a goosey. It's a Gose. I'm trying to get it right. It's Brewmasters approved by Bill and Ron. Has additions of cherry juice and coriander. The malts are Pilsner and torrefied wheat, and the hops are spalt. And there you go, man. I'll pass me another. Pucker up and pass me another. There you go.
Man, we doing it today. Rob, what you drinking?
I'm glad you asked, Dad. Y'all take turns.
There's
no one appointed role in this.
Right.
So make sure somebody asks. Somebody got to ask. That's right.
Right. I got two beers today. Actually, the first one I am drinking is the Chakra Chai Brown Ale.
Put that closer. Yeah.
There you go.
What's that?
Is that a Buddhist?
Buddha type?
Yeah, I think so. It's a brown ale from Belfont Brewing. 6%. It definitely has. You can taste some of the chai in there. It's a nice brown ale.
Is that a new can release for them?
Yeah, I think it came out last week. I think.
I don't think did Rob and them they didn't mention they may have mentioned it in our visit with him or sit down with him last week, but I'm not sure. I just don't ring a bell.
I think he might have said something about it.
Okay,
that they just canned it because they did just canned it.
Yeah, I think he did.
Somebody said that is the
It's
Hindu,
a Hindu goddess. Okay.
on the beer.
Okay.
There you
Oh,
go.
thank you.
Courtney
Appreciate
Bajwa.
that.
What up, Court?
And I'm
Yeah,
also
Hindu.
drinking. I'm staying local. Both of these are Delaware breweries. I also have the Analog Beats, 6.5% American Lager from Autumn Arch.
Beats.
Can work. Yeah, nice can work. A nice
What's that
analog
on the
joint.
sheet?
Yeah, I like that.
That's
Oh, I
the-
see.
that's
Oh,
the analog joint.
yeah.
They have
It's a
some
what
nice
now?
artwork up there. And,
Oh, that's dope.
now you guys are in Delaware, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a 6.5. So together that's 12. That's 12.
There you go. You up there, baby?
12.5. That's 12.5
Yeah.
together.
Just
Combine them.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
I'm
go.
gonna
Yo.
get to this. Yeah.
And then
Yo,
Lou,
shout out. Yo,
What you
shout
say,
out to
Mickey?
I said Lou has to have 3 to catch up.
Yeah, pretty much.
yo, but shout out to Lou's Wi-Fi today. Like,
Oh, you like that?
yo, Lou ain't paused not one time.
No, you know what though? I usually pause at the end. If you think
Yeah,
about
we'll
it,
just wait and
towards
see
the
what
end.
happens.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's wait.
so-
Let's be
So
patient.
it dies
when I take
down.
that back.
Yeah, we was on with that guy last week for 2.5 hours. My Wi-Fi was like, and my Wi-Fi wasn't feeling the conversation.
You know what it was saying? I was motherfucking tired.
Yeah, last week my Wi-Fi was saying Biden Harris the whole time.
All right. It sounds like everybody has a good we have good beers on tap for the day. But
yeah.
we do want to get into this conversation with Mickey Bryant, the founder and president of Black and Brew Chicago. So we want to know, first of all, welcome again to the show.
Yes, welcome.
you.
Welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yes,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Yeah. So we want to get a little bit about your background, how you got into craft beer, and then we'll get into the Black and Brew Chicago.
Okay. So how I got into Black, so I'm from Ohio. I'm from Youngstown, Ohio. And I was working, after I graduated from college, I went to Houston. I was in Houston. It was years after I actually graduated from college. But I was drinking. I started off back in the day. I don't know if I'm aging myself, but I started back drinking Old English. 211. Me and my brother.
It's still in the liquor store. You can still find that.
Nah, you can still find it, but if I wasn't old enough to be drinking,
I'm not ashamed. I was like, we love it. And so, and Miller High Life, actually, my uncle, he just thought Miller High Life was bomb. So that's where I started. And I was young. Mm-hmm. And when I got to Houston, I thought I had graduated and I was drinking Mickey's malt liquor.
Okay.
We talk about the can, the bottle with the little bumblebee or something on it, or something like that, right?
You couldn't tell me nothing when I had that, right? With that and some whiskey. And so we had a cookout at our complex. And my neighbor, I was walking and I had my little stuff, bringing it to the cookout. And he was like, "Why are you drinking that shit beer? This is like 2007, going 2008."
Okay.
And I didn't get offended because he followed it up. Like, you could tell me something, and as long as you followed up and you show me why you're saying it. And so he gave me my first craft beer. Taste of craft beer was 2 things. It was Santos, which actually was a black Kolsch. Which, if I were really knowledgeable in beer, some people be like, "It can't be no black Kolsch." Trust me, it was a black Kolsch, and it had the same refreshing taste. Everything about that beer was the same. Thinking back,
right,
of a Kolsch. So that was from St. Arnold's Brewery, and then my first favorite beer was an IPA. It was called Hopadillo by Carbach Brewery in Houston. Okay. And the thing about it is like, if you've been drinking IPAs, different things that long, it was totally different. It was amber. It was more malty than it was bitter.
Hoppy, yeah.
Very hot. I mean, you could just look at it. It did not have the golden, the pale color, gold, opaque, none of that. It was just a different taste. It had a sweetness that you can compare to, I want to say almost cinnamon. I don't know. It's just weird. So I used to get it shipped to me. So after that, I went to work one day and I was just talking, blah, 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 whatever. And I told my coworker, like I'm telling her something, I was like, oh, I tasted this craft beer. And she looked like, oh yeah,
like you was up on things.
Like you laugh, and she invited me. Her husband was working at the Houston Chronicle in advertising and marketing, and they invited me to my first craft beer festival. And I just didn't appreciate it because I'm running around just from, thing just getting drunk. I'm not. So over the years, I realized my palate sophisticated into me. Like, so I can't say, oh, I was on this journey to, try craft beer. So long story short, once I got back, I moved back to the Midwest, to Chicago, and I'd already been here back and forth working here. So I was here when they had the big boom and, all of that, with craft beer. Excuse me. And so I started going to different events, and people were like, well, what is craft beer? What is craft beer? It got to the point that I had people, I said, well, just come and taste it. Just try it out. Just come and taste it. To the point it started being bigger crowds. So now it's getting appealing to the breweries. And they're like, like we got a lot of black people. We can act, we can say we diverse. Well, they want to take pictures. And I was wondering, like, why are they taking pictures of us?
Yeah, you knew why.
And so what ended up happening is a brewer asked me, hey, can you bring people back in? So I thought about it because I'm actually a training developer by trade. And I said, well, no, I don't want to just be this person to segue and bring people of color into your brewery. What we're going to do is agree to an educational experience, because if I'm going to bring my people into here, what we're going to do is what I do all day long. What do you know? What do you need to know? And how can we fill the gap with your talent?
Right.
So there's two things that I ask when you have our what I call educational experience. I ask if the brewer or the owner is there to let us know what inspired them, what inspired their beers. We go through mouthfeel to finish. You get a thorough tour because I want you to be educated. So one thing led to the other, and it became almost a business. It just started going and going. And so now we started having the experiences, and we started incorporating even bigger experiences. We had started a beer university, diversity university, where I didn't want people to just taste American beer. I wanted you to see, hey, this is bigger than that. So we incorporated Oak Park Brewery had already had the Belgian, British Ale, and the German going on. So with that experience, you come in, you get to taste all different beers, you get to learn about the glassware and different things like that. So after that, it just started taking on life of its own. So my hometown in Youngstown, Ohio is where I'm from. Some of my friends, they wanted a chapter. So then it started going to chapters. So now we have 2 chapters. We have Black and Brew Youngstown, we have Black and Brew Cleveland, and because of COVID, we couldn't have the launch. We were going to have a Black and Brew Houston and Black and Brew Charlotte. Okay. Also, what has happened is since now, I'm like, okay, so since we turned it to a 501c3. So I did that, and I did that for the sole purpose is to, if people need education, since we do work with breweries to introduce new demographics, what was happening is breweries would say, I start asking them then, like when I start realizing I had a little bit of leverage, I said, well, people of color, LGBT, people with disabilities, are you guys having, what are you guys doing for this population? And of course we get the pictures and, oh, we're doing this. So what I was finding out is that, yeah, they would hire somebody, maybe I recommended, but they would hire them and they would come in and everybody's desire is not to be a brewer.
Right.
It's not. But if you're going to come in there, so I started what is called a success path. And I'm going to start working with the city community colleges in Chicago. Whereas if you go through Black and Brew Chicago, not only do you get, because a lot of like the brewers here wanted me to just post their jobs. No, it comes with work. We have to work together. If we're going to bring somebody to you, then they're going to have a success path. If their path is to be a brewer, if their path is to be this, I want to know exactly what that is when they come in so that we can measure it. So actually I was successful at getting one brewer because it's only one Black head brewer, which is one of my friends. And then I got another brewer on. But that's what Black and Brew Chicago is. It's about education. It's about opening this whole industry up to a new demographic, but not just handing people demographic, but help letting them know, hey, you can be a lawyer in this industry. You can be a distributor. So I started last year before COVID brought us all to a screeching halt. It is called the Edward J. McClellan Black Pride Beer Scholarship. We help people who are in underrepresented communities who can't afford it pay for their CBS, or even if they need to pay for their uniform, or even if they have to pay for the end of their community college, whatever they need to get into the food industry. And Edward J. McClellan is the first Black owner of a Black beer distributing here in Chicago, 1969. He didn't, he was actually working with the NAACP and economic development. He was just 50 years ahead of his time for the most part. We're still struggling for equity in this industry. So you can only imagine what he was trying to do in 1969. So, so that's Black and Brew Chicago in a nutshell. We just hope to, keep on going. And I'm a huge believer in connections. So that's why I just said, whoever sent me the email, I said, no, if it's about beer, it's about promoting a Black business. I am in. Now, I'd still, of course, I check, see legit, but, at the same time, this is right here, what I'm doing right here, it's almost like I'm now on a podcast with four of my brothers.
Right. That's awesome. Right. That's the forum I think that I speak for everybody when I say that. That's the forum I think that we created for it. We talk about, just the overarching kind of mission or objective of it, but we look at it to bring, our voices, Black voices and our experiences into craft brew. And we love it. We love it.
Yeah. And I like how you were talking about is I'll bring the Black people to your brewery, but what are you going to do to benefit my Black people? Like, and Black people, do you like you said, you don't have to brew, but if you're a lawyer and you like beer, do both. You know what I mean? Like that's what it's all about. And like, we all love the podcast, and Rob came up with the idea behind bringing craft beer, but it is like, it's a niche, and we need to take ownership of the space that is available to us. So I appreciate what you're doing. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's outstanding. Especially like the career pathway. I'm like,
giving people into like that's. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I want to just double check, like, hey, let me check in on you. Let me know what's going on there. Have you moved to where you want to move, or at least been even if the position's not open.
Right.
If you're coming here and your dream is to be a brewer and you're just starting off here, even if you start off as a entry worker or a greeter at the door,
right? You're in the brewery.
Taking time to show you, teach you a little bit about the beer.
Right.
Think about, understand what we understand, we appreciate. That's just the bottom line.
Yeah.
And so when people go and they look, and I had a whole bunch of people used to come to me when we'd be at breweries, they didn't understand what ABV meant. They didn't know what IBU. And then you would have the neighborhood guy sitting there at the bar that's there every day telling them what they like.
Right.
No, this is play around with your palate.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It's definitely that is a very good point, because if you sit with the guy who likes what he likes, if you don't like that, you're never going to go back to the bar or the brewery again, because you're assuming that that's the only beer available to you, because this guy isn't telling you to diversify your palate. Shout out to Brandon.
and they could be like it old style or Mickey's Malt Liquor, you know. And like, I don't knock anybody what you drink. Like, if my uncle were to hand me the one that drinks Miller High Life, I would never disrespect him by saying, no, I don't drink that.
Right.
Because that's our connection. I would still drink that.
Right. There's still history there.
With me and him.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But
let me ask on that. Yeah, how would you introduce your uncle? Would you try to introduce your uncle to craft beer?
I have. So what I did is, it's a brewery so I came from like in the like a sort of like the hood area, you know, and there's a brewery there. There's two really good craft breweries. Don't get me wrong, because I mean it has some, but they have one too there that's called Penguin City. And I think they're the master of their art. Is what they did is they embraced the neighborhood that they were in. So they don't pop off with no these high ABV stouts. They have beers that some, you know, craft beer people would probably be like, but it's good for that community.
Right. That's what a local community brewery has to be.
You should do.
Right.
Yeah, at least one or two of your beers got to be for the neighborhood. Yeah, that's dope.
Exactly. So my uncle would drink one of them. You know, he would drink something that tastes like.
Where's this brewery in Ohio?
Yeah, it's called Penguin City.
Penguin City is a brewery.
City, you know, and you know they know it. To me, whoever did their marketing, they know exactly what they're doing. Not to say the rest of the breweries, a couple of other breweries, they're really good breweries. But what I'm saying is I would introduce my uncle, but not to this.
Right.
You know, not to anything that would take him away from that, you know,
some authenticity or some familiarity that he's, you know, that he's yeah. So you touch back a little bit. Just something that you touched on in your kind of opening story. I'm a fan of IPAs, but I've since then expanded my palates to stouts and to you know, various different types or styles.
Come down here to this Go Say, Devin. Come on,
I will try. I will get there. I will get there.
my bad. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. But you know, what was it about that favorite IPA that you liked? And then also like what are there any IPAs that you try to stay away from? I mean, they're doing IPAs with lactose in them now. They're you know, they're doing a whole lot with just different characteristics of beer. What was it about that IPA that you really liked from the door?
What I liked about Hopadillo, and they also had one that was called Rodeo Clown, is that even though it was an IPA, it was like almost like I said, the Hopadillo looked like an amber ale. It still was bitter. I don't mind the bitterness and like the sweetness that can come from, you know, some of the malt. But the whole thing is I liked the Hopadillo. It was still clean. It was something that's different about because I'm not a brewer, so I don't. It's something that was much more clean, more pure about the ingredients. I think they were using. What I don't like, but I like everybody to taste everything.
Yeah.
Anything I see in the beer mill, I'll taste it. I've said I wasn't a sour person. Now I drank a couple of sours that I like. I said I wasn't a golden person.
Right.
Now I'm here. You want this?
Right.
You know, but that's one thing is that it was a different, to me, ingredient. It was a different way they made it, which is now more of a what they call to me an American, which you can compare to either an amber ale. New Belgium has a good they have it can be compared to just a pale ale or just New Belgium had something else. I can't remember the name of it. And I'll think about it as soon as I get off here. It was just different. It was just not like a milkshake. Me, the lactose, the milkshake and all that kind of stuff. I tried all of those at events, but buying them and drinking them all the time, I probably couldn't do it because of the lactose.
Yeah. So when you go, there's a follow-up question. When you go, now that you've had that favorite IPA or, you know, or any beer that you really, really enjoy, do you find yourself trying to find that in other brews? You know, if you find that hop or you find that clean taste? Do you find that kind of try to replicate that, or find that when you're seeking out other beers?
Hold on, before you answer that, Amani said, was it Fat Tire? Was it Fat Tire or?
Yeah, you know what, Amani, yeah, Fat Tire, I believe, is the way it has the malty flavor. I promise you, it was an IPA, but it sort of reminds you of Fat Tire.
Mm.
And it's weird. It's just like, I think because things have evolved so much,
Mm-hmm.
and I think because I wasn't necessarily seeking to be a craft beer person, that I wasn't really taking notes.
I
Now
don't think any of us was. Who was seeking to be a craft beer person? Was any of y'all?
people like, hey, I want to drink craft beer. You know.
Rob said he was.
But I'm sorry, Mickey, but Rob, when you raise your hand for that, like from the first time you took a craft beer, you were like, I'm in this.
I need to figure this out.
I gotta figure this out. What is going on
and
here?
The thing, and it was, and it wasn't even an official craft beer. It was Blue Moon, but I had to figure out more on this thing. Yeah, absolutely.
That's what's up, bro.
Because I was like, well, this is a lot more flavorful than Budweiser and Miller Lite and stuff like that. So I wanted to know more about the thing. And so when I got one down the street, that was even better.
Now that you say that, I think that maybe to some degree, maybe a lot of people were trying to kind of enhance the flavor of beer. You know, like coming up to your point, Mickey, like having Mickey's and Mickey's Ice, like I found that was my go-to when I lived in Cali, and we'd have like neighborhood barbecues. But everybody used to throw either a lime or throw or a lemon or whatever in the beer and freeze it to kind of enhance some flavor or to capture some kind of essence of that beer, maybe because they were trying to like maybe elevate the taste or expand their palate. Just something that just came to mind. I think that some people to a degree probably do eventually want more, than just kind of that household or that brand that they grew up with.
That's funny because I always wanted to try Mickey's because I thought the bottle was cool, but I never did.
Yeah.
You never did? Oh man,
you never did. Just try it. Just
love it. I think you will enjoy it. Yeah,
I'm sure I will.
I want nothing called a Mickey. No offense. Take this. Let me slip you this Mickey.
I can tell you some stories that involve some Mickeys and Mickey's Ice. You'd be like, yo, that was a wild party, or that was a wild day all night.
Because I didn't even know about Modelo until I got to Texas. So it goes, that speaks to your point, Devin, is like, they gave me like authentic. I was eating authentic carnitas, authentic, food. They give me the stuff, and then they're putting this in this Modelo. I'm like, oh shit, this is good, and I didn't know it was Modelo. And then after that, we got the Modelo. I said, this is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, and that just tells there's beer for everybody if they're willing to explore.
Yeah.
So you can't say you don't like beer. You just haven't had your beer yet.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like if you drink liquor, you like beer. If you drink alcohol, like the only people I can say that don't like beer is people that just don't drink, period. But like if you drink, man, there's definitely a beer for you.
There's a beer for everybody. And that's one thing, is because I'm a data person too. So I get people that text me back. I be loving it. Like when they she said, yes, girl. Yeah, girl.
Yes. As well. Yep.
Yes, indeed.
Things more elaborate, diverse. Yep.
Ain't nothing wrong with a PBR if that's what you like.
Hey, I like PBR too. PBR ain't too bad.
Yeah.
But I have people that have never drank beer. They just came along with a friend, to an event in which that's what was starting to happen to me. And they just said, damn, I know it was this kind, didn't know this many beers or what have you. And then sometimes I love when I get, because I'm sort of nerdy with beer, I love when I get those texts like, hey, I went back to this brewery and, to get this, something that tastes sort of like a shandy or something that's sweet. And then they start elevating, going a little, you ease them in with that Kolsch.
Right.
And then just let their palates just go crazy. And hey, let me give you a piece of cheese with that or something.
Right. Something. Rob and I went to a brew fest down at the riverfront here in Delaware. And again, I wasn't a big fan of stouts, but I remember tasting one. It may have been a stout named Fruity Pebbles, but when I say it was reminiscent of the cereal Fruity Pebbles, I was like blown away. I was like, oh my God. Like growing up, I wasn't, my dad was a big health buff, did not allow us to eat a lot of sugary cereals. But when you would go over your cousin's house or over your friend's house and they had that Fruity Pebbles, and you were allowed to
I need 3 bowls. 3 bowls.
I hate Fruity Pebbles. I would have hated that.
Oh my God. When I taste that beer and it reminded me of that cereal that I wasn't really allowed to dig into, I was like, oh, this is where it's at.
But like, because I wasn't a big a beer drinker, period. Like I might drink some with Rob every once in a while when he would get them, because sometimes Rob would just buy a massive amount. Like if we go somewhere, them towers, like them big ass things of beer,
beer towers.
The beer towers. Rob would buy one, and I'm like, there's no way he's gonna drink this by himself. So I would join in and just have a beer. But then after going to the like a beer fest, like just tasting it, and I was one of them people. I just went and got to fucking wasted like an idiot,
like you did, Mickey in the beginning. Just
that's why I laughed when she said it. I was like, oh yeah, that was definitely me, because I'm just trying. Since I wasn't into anything now, and I'm just trying to taste everything, and I'm guzzling it. I'm like, I'm just gonna get smashed then. But then after a while, I started realizing that it was some of them that I actually really liked.
Right.
And really took a liking to, and like really started like looking for these beers. Like I'm in the stouts now. And so like that the stout thing just changed the whole game. I'm like, yo, this is like coffee and beer and chocolate. Oh man, I'm gonna turn these up.
She got Tamara is the process of beer is amazing. She geeks out over it, and this community is absolutely amazing. And she said, right? When you find something you love in the world and created in a beer, it's mind blowing. And well, there you go. So if anybody got that Golden Graham beer out there, let me know.
Yeah, damn right. That Golden Graham.
That's what you want, Rob. Newcastle County. All of us are in Newcastle County.
We're all spread out. We got a little bit of Middletown. We got Wilmington. We got Newark. We got Claymont. We got Newcastle. And hey, feel free to, I'm just going to put it out there. Feel free, because we haven't really promoted it much, but feel free to subscribe to our beer shares for any of those areas, because we can, if you put in there kind of the beers that you like, the beer fairy might come and drop off a little one of those kind of styles or taste that you like. Or if you don't know, we might recommend something.
All right,
and if the beer fairy is Devin, he'll come in wings and a tutu. And
I handle Middletown, south of the canal area.
but you guys get together a lot?
Yeah. Do we get together a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like y'all get together. Good.
Yeah. So we're all interrelated, Mickey.
Yeah, before COVID, we did the podcast together every Sunday. Yeah, this was a weird thing.
So
we just zoom now because
Rob and him are blood brothers. Lou is first cousins to Yoda's wife, and then Rob and I are married to sisters. So we're all
okay. So y'all family.
Finish it off, Devin. We went to high school together.
And
what got through that? Me and Rob went to high school together too.
Count y'all brothers. You live in the same house.
We beat down. We live in the same house.
We were in the same house and went to the same high school.
We got the same bus at one point.
You see who's petty.
Our mother is the same. Gang.
Because I know one thing, you would have some damn beer.
Damn right.
Right?
And it'd be 4 different types.
Right. The thing is that I just really got to, like, during COVID, like I am a seasonal drinker. I am definitely a Belgian. I'm like Westmalle. I like Belgian Strongs, triples, quads. I like all that. But I also play with my palate. I just really like you guys. I just noticed that a lot of people getting the beer like stouts. So that's
it's that coffee chocolate connection. Everybody like chocolate and coffee.
From people like, oh no, try this first. So this is encouraging to hear that.
Yeah, if like I just had a Hershey's Yingling yesterday.
Oh, you got a 6-pack? I was getting
it was a porter, so like the porters are kind of watery compared to stouts. but that chocolate was in there, bro.
It was
that
my
thing, yeah, that was good.
He's in Indiana, and he said, "Yo, we got to try this," and I will pick it up today for when he comes back. We can try it. So,
yeah, but I mean, I like what Hershey does because they do their a lot of their profits go to their school up in Hershey, PA. But
not Yingling. Yingling don't got no school, and it don't have
that
no
4-5.
Yeah,
don't love that 4-5.
He had a good time listening last week. Yingling was listening like, yes, it's about time.
You drink that shit, you might be you probably a liar.
Nah, bro, I'm blocking than ever, bro.
I ain't gonna lie. I had
some Yingling, I think last year in Cleveland. It was a brown. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, before we found out Yingling's true intentions, it was a really good brewery.
Ooh, that's
another thing that was find out.
We fans of that Screwball whiskey, baby.
Oh my goodness!
Try that.
So
all the suggestions
to kind of give you or highlight kind of our review of beer, because we don't none of us really consider ourselves like kind of technical experts in how
I'm a certified beer server.
I would say we've progressed to more of certified beer drinkers over time. What I was going to say specifically to our podcast, though, when you mentioned going to cookouts and things like that, that's one thing I think is specific to our rating of our beers. Like when you heard Lou say in the very beginning, pass me another. That's kind of our top 5-star rating for a beer that we have at a cookout and that we, share amongst family, friends. One that we think of that's just kind of like I'll have just one that's obviously mediocre, or I don't want any more of that. But if it's something that we really don't like, we call it keep it in the cooler. So that's our rating of our beer. That's something that we created. That's a niche for us. And, and hey, look, we love it. People love it. And that's how we rate beers. But we don't give it all the, we can put descriptions to the beers that we drink from the characteristics and everything that we taste, body and all that. But that's how we summarize it.
That's what, well, I mean, okay, that's what I said. This is like right in with me. Like, the same thing. I like to go off of my characters. I mean, of course, I know a little bit about beer, but I'm not a brewer or anything like that. And I like to taste the notes and different things like that. But I like to tell people, hey, you try it. Right. Like, we have all these different taste buds. You try this, see if you like it. Because it's been stuff that I would be like, oh, hell, I'm not drinking it. And some people be like, oh, this is kind of good. And so
I remember, or it might have been like our second or third episode of the podcast, and we had Sour Monkey on what is it, Victory?
Yeah,
Sour Monkey on here.
Yep.
And somebody said, "This is delicious. They love it." And I was like, "How in the world?"
It was our brother-in-law Brandon. Party.
Yeah, like wow, it was terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's like to me, I think this is something that is such a good experience. Yeah. Like you could just enjoy, and as long as you let people's palates be their palates, and you stay in your own lane, you all can just grow. But what I like the most out of this is I found a Black craft beer community. Yeah, exactly. That's right. You don't like it, take a shot. She knows my style. She knows. I'll be like, take a shot, like right now. But the thing about it is it's a craft beer community, so we get to share. And I like the beer meals and being able to taste like the different stuff is. Thanks, Imani. Yeah, but it's like I like to taste all the different things. Like Imani sends me stuff, from Delaware. I send. It's like you get to have this family,
Yeah.
You could say, hey, I want to try this, and I saw Rob had Mike's like the Black Brew Culture glass. I have all, what I mean, and it's like if you get to support, we get to support each other.
Right.
And if we're out of town, we can call and say, hey, like now I feel that if I came to Delaware I can be like, where you guys? What's up?
Here we
Like,
at? Where y'all at? What's up?
Right,
We
I need
up.
to talk to you, man. Let's go get some beers.
Right.
And I wouldn't feel uncomfortable
Yes.
doing that. So it's like
You know what I thought about?
But
You know what I thought about when we first started it, right? And I didn't really know it was that many black people in craft beer, right?
Me either.
But as I got to find out, I think the thing that really topped it off was the Fresh Fest, right?
Right. In Pittsburgh.
But then after the Fresh Fest, like I got all these followers, all these black people that like beer, and like and this person, I saw this person at the Fresh Fest, and then like just full circle, right? But it made me feel like a court almost. I'm like, yo, what the hell is happening there? It happened so quick.
Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, that's what happened. I was like, well, this shit's real. This is real for real. Like,
it kind of is. We all try to speak the same language. We try to live principles. You know, it kind of
it's crazy. It's cool.
That was the best experience ever. Like,
yes, it was.
That was the only craft beer festival I've ever gone to. We weren't the minority.
Really? Oh right. Right.
Yeah, no,
that's for all of us.
We weren't the minority. Yeah,
right. Yeah,
and it was like you were looking around, like, whoa, you know, you look.
Yeah, it was overwhelming.
Yeah, it was really nice.
You know, he's looking like, damn, these are our people. We enjoy the same thing, and you know, it was good food. It was good vibes. You know, they started playing George Clinton.
Yeah. and speaking of, now that it's been, you know, kind of, you know, yielded because of COVID and the whole nine, something that's kind of revitalizing or this kind of regenerating the whole idea is this Blacktoberfest that's happening in North Carolina now. I'm like pushing to possibly go. Like, I'm serious. Like, that's how infectious that experience was, and how even though look, COVID is intact, I need to figure out some strategies on how I can make that happen. I done already sent my wife text messages with links saying considering with the thinking emoji on there, like I'm about to take this road trip. I'm about to rent something and head on down.
Yep, you sure can.
No, when is that? Is that October? Is that in October?
It's like October 23rd or something like that.
Yeah, next 2 weeks.
Weeks.
Oh, it's very cool. Okay, and
they're
that's
a lot of good content right now. And I mean, they're doing not just a lot of beer shares. They're doing some cooking with different black business owners and adding, you know, beer into the flavors of wings. I'm seeing all kinds of shit that's like, I need to be a part of that. I need to just be in that space.
Well, because it's like Black Brew Culture. It's Harlem Brewing, which is Celeste. Sankofa is a part of that as well.
Montclair, where we visited, they're a part of it.
Who is that?
Montclair out of Montclair.
Montclair,
they're a part of it. I don't know if they're there physically, but I think in some degree they're like a part of it. I don't know if they're you know, planning to go down at some point, but I do believe they're part of it.
Like I think Spaceway as well in North Carolina, which is where Celeste is, I think, majority of the time now. She's not too much in Harlem as much as she was, I don't think.
Okay.
But I think she is down there. I think she still brews. It's just Harlem Brewing South, I think she calls it, or something like that.
Yes, Harlem South.
Harlem South, yeah.
I think that's going to be dope. I mean, if I wasn't COVID paranoid, you know, it's like, it's almost like, I think that it's like good. And I've talked to Mike, see, you know, what's good, but I know that once you start drinking, that's why I don't trust myself at these breweries.
Yeah, you get a little infectious. You start hanging on shoulders. You start effectively, you know, hanging on people.
Well, you see it on IG where people are drinking and then all of a sudden they forget it's COVID season.
Right.
All pictures, no mask. I'd be like, oh no.
Next thing you know, you're drinking out somebody's glass. You just like, let me take some.
Oh my god,
really wish
that tastes good. Let me have some.
What is this called? SteamYard? Yeah, I wish they would add maybe that type of feature where at least those of us who are sort of paranoid, we could maybe get some of the stuff, you know, given to us, or we could like join at some point.
I think some of it is virtual. Yeah, I think they do have a virtual part.
Well, I'll do that.
Kind of like the DigiFest was.
So the actual sales for Blacktoberfest go on sale tomorrow. The tickets for the event in 2 weeks. So just look it up. It's Blacktober Fest though. If you want to look it up, but
you said Black. Okay, yeah, because I know they'll probably be putting it on there.
Yeah, Blacktober-fest.com.
Yeah.
And I know that I had .com, and I had already been. I mean, I'd just be like, "Hit Mike, I need,
Yeah.
Oh, okay, whatever.
Mike, that's our boy.
Now going back to Black and Brew in terms of like partnerships, like have you had a lot more partnership with breweries, or maybe even like Cicerone? I think I said, like have people like start reaching out because the program that you're developing is incredible. So I wanted to see if there were more breweries, not even just in Chicago, but just like some of the outside parts of Chicago and Illinois as well.
Yeah, so I've had the majority of them are in Chicago. I've had maybe 2. It was 3 of them, but they were really far out.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have taken some time to try and get that organized, because when I mentioned it to some people who are actually from Chicago, they were like, I ain't going out there,
That's what I was thinking.
So I was like, okay, they said, no, that is no L train. There is no out there, you on your own. And now one thing I did want to do is Black Horizon is the only, they're in Willowbrook, Illinois. And Charles, he's the only other Black beer, owner, part owner of a craft beer brewery. And so I wanted to do something with him, but I mean, that's like 18, 20 miles outside of the city. So what I wanted to do is try and maybe get a van, one of those like the luxury vans, something like that.
Right.
And make that an event where we paid and other people, they drove us out there. And so that also didn't really come to fruition because after I talked to him, we couldn't really go much more into it because COVID just stopped everything. Yeah. It stopped me with working with the schools. It stopped everything, the anniversaries, anything. So I would probably bring that back up. But yeah, as far as people coming out and reaching out to me, there's been some, because I would meet them as Black and Brew Chicago got a little bit more, popular. Some of them, I would meet them at the craft beer festivals. And, but some of it's like so far, just like, okay. And then I ask people who are literally from here. Now I'm very good. I mean, I've worked here for forever. I'm from the Midwest, but I'm not from the city of Chicago. So when you actually tell people, they'll tell you, oh, if you what? Okay, you would be out there by yourself,
right.
So I've had people, to answer your question, I've had people reach out as far as negotiating. I don't entertain a lot of stuff that I know probably won't happen, because I do look at Black and Brew Chicago and Black and Brew Youngstown, Black and Brew Cleveland as a family. So even though I ultimately make the business decisions, I do incorporate their thoughts because they are what has made Black and Brew Chicago.
Right. Sounds like we need a Black and Brew Philly / Delaware.
How does the chapter come about? Hold on, Dad. How does the chapters come about? Because you have the 3, but they're local to you. All 3 of those chapters. I guess not Cleveland. I guess Cleveland wouldn't be. But you're from Youngstown, so how do people go about getting chapters, or is that even an option?
Yeah, it is. So it comes up under, you'll be up under of course, the Black and Brew Chicago nonprofit. I do have like a model, what things that we want to happen as far as the main thing that I like is the thing that has to be done is the education piece. You guys have to do that. I come to every launch, and then we have the other chapter heads like Dope the Brand, Lynn Bilal on Crap, and my K Shug. They're Cleveland and Youngstown. If they can, they'll come too. The only thing I ask is that we make it that you do. We go over the particulars, but I'm just going to give you an outline.
Right.
One thing is to always uplift. If you do make like a Black and Brew Delaware page, I want it to always be uplifting each other, supporting each other, whether it's social justice or what have you. You can do whatever you want to outside of that. But one thing I do want is when people have events, we ask that you have at least 5 with local, team up with local breweries, and also push, maybe get it, because I'll do the talking when it comes to the inner city community colleges.
Amen.
But connect with the community colleges so we can do job fairs, and we work with them. And then I always still go into the breweries for the energy, because a lot of breweries have come at me. A lot of breweries are, we'll give you this, we'll do this.
And then nothing.
But the energy wasn't right for the people.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I just said, maybe I don't never say no.
Right. Yes. Every deal ain't a good deal.
Every deal is not a good deal. So what I like to, that's the only thing I ask. And then if you guys wanted a chapter, we go a little bit more into that. But the main thing that's most important is the educational aspect, that you have at least 5 events with different breweries so people's palates can get sophisticated, their education and their knowledge can get increased. And let them, talk to you like, hey, hey Lou, or hey Rob, or hey Devin, Yoga. I like this brewery. So I want them to at least know they could go back to this. Then we can also incorporate some of the beer universities here. So so what you would do is we would talk, and of course I would have to do the legal stuff to get the chapter up under Black and Brew Chicago, but it could happen. And I thought that this was the only way that we can only change the social and cultural landscape of the craft brew industry through education.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the only way we can do it.
Education and knowledge for everything. You're right.
To answer, now that you're going to attend some of the outline of what Black and Brew encompasses, how many people are a part of Black and Brew Chicago other than yourself? Like, who helps you? Who are your pillars?
Okay, so to be quite honest, I have about 4 associates that help me with Black and Brew Chicago here, but not on the board. They're not doing much on the board with me, what have you. But my Youngstown people help me a lot more with a lot of the Black and Brew Youngstown here. The person that does a lot of our merch, she helps with that too. Which I have to get a little bit, my merch game have to get up. I wasn't thinking about merch. I was always thinking about merch as far as giving people, because I give gift bags at every event that goes with your learning experience. So if you come to a Belgium experience, you're getting a Belgium glass, whether it's a tulip or something like that. And so right now it started off as just, I didn't think nothing of it. Now it started turning into a business. So it's maybe about 4 people that help me, but the Youngstown chapter really helps me the most.
All right. Okay, you know how many it is? Are y'all all together, like in each chapter?
Coming and going. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. I want to say in Chicago we might have a steady spread out, because only 20 people can come to an event at a time, because I didn't want it to get, because we had too many people at an event and nobody learned anything. So I say about 200 people that could possibly come. But some of them don't even live in Chicago, so they come when they're around. A lot of people get closed out so quickly, so that's something that I'm working with, because I shutting everybody out when you offer something and then it's like, oh, it's closed in 20 minutes. That's not good.
Right.
So, we were going to try and work on getting different events to be going on at different times. The only problem with that is that the brewers, because I asked the breweries, I asked them to have their brewer and have the brewer, they actually want me there.
Got it.
Okay.
At the beginning. So it's like, that's the hang up with that.
Yeah, if 3 events at 7 o'clock, you can't be at the beginning.
I can't do it. And who in the world wants to go to 1 at 4 and 1 at 5? You know, in the street. So I mean, it's that's the little piece that I was stuck with. Because I think it could be much larger than 200 solid. at this time if I were able to let them go. Because some people just like, forget it. I mean, and I would be like that. Like, hell, if I can't get in, if every time I go and sign up is sold out, I don't want to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
For a learning event that you would throw, how many people do you think is enough? So that, like you said, sometimes it's too many people there. What's a good number?
My max is 20. I have been doing because and I'm going to just tell you this: if there's a couple of us, maybe if I start working with a couple of people there, but we had an event one time and it was 50 people, something like it was like coming and going. You couldn't hear anything.
Right.
You couldn't hear anything. The dudes thought that it was a dating site. And the what? And the reason why 200 doesn't sound like a lot, but
It's a
Black
lot.
in Chicago is almost what ended up happening is because of that experience. It's almost invitation. Only because my one friend that's an attorney, she said, I think this is getting a little out of hand. Mm-hmm. And she said, I think that when someone is in a room with you, somebody else should be connected to them. And so what ended up happening is I send a link to certain people and you send it to who you want. So if you bring the drunk that want to talk to everybody in the thing, then at least I have a point person that, can, get them on.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think
we'll have to talk about that.
Obviously, offline, we got a lot more to talk about.
Yeah, of course.
Excited. You seem to have done some research on us to make sure we legit. We know.
I always have to have some legit brothers.
Yeah. But shout out to
you can mentor. That's fine.
Dope the brand. She's supposed to be on here next week.
Yeah, right. That's true.
Yeah. I think that we can work well together. I could never come to Delaware and not see Amani.
Yeah, right. I feel like Mickey just interviewed us. I feel like she just interviewed us for a Black.
We were in Pittsburgh Pittsburgh for the Fresh Fest, and we just were, I think how many of it was us? It was us four plus Mitt.
Yeah.
So it was five of us in Pittsburgh. We were, rented an Airbnb and we were just shooting around town. We hadn't went to the main event yet. We went and grabbed some lunch or whatever, like in the part of town where, was the spot to go. And we ran into, Amani was there, but we didn't know him yet. And he was repping this Delaware t-shirt. And we're like, from Delaware. Because you know what I mean, who else would wear a Delaware T-shirt?
In Pittsburgh.
And so it was kind of like we saw him a couple times, gave him the head nod, but it wasn't until we got back to Delaware to really connect with him, and where we had him on the episode and really got more involved into what he does. And now, like you say, it's like family. That in hearing, exchanging stories, it became like everybody. Who else?
Right. Yeah, because that's why I met Amani on from Black in Chicago. But what's so funny, we had so Black Beer Chick also lives in Chicago.
Yes. Yeah. We had her
and
on.
So she we don't really see each other a lot, but it was like, oh, it's another Black person that drink beer. And then we met at a craft beer festival. And so when it came to Fresh Fest, she said, oh, there's a slot. Somebody backed out, of this housing thing, because I was going to get a hotel or stay go see my mother in Youngstown and just, drive up. And so I said, okay, I'll get in there. Hell, I didn't know. The house was her, Black Beer Chick.
Oh, you was in the syndicate.
Oh, you in the Jackson Street syndicate.
You're in the syndicate too.
Uncap Everything, Brew and Change Game, Pass the Hops.
Black Beer Travelers, right?
Huh?
Brandon.
Yeah.
Brandon.
Yeah. And there's somebody else that I'm missing. I might, but microbrewologist, which was Nasreen. And I was like, oh, okay, damn, everybody. And we were just sitting at dinner, and Eric, who's Uncap Everything, just said, oh, we should have a bottle share at the house. And he made this whole thing.
That bottle share that we missed.
Yeah.
And next we know people were showing up with coolers and shit. We were like, oh,
Yeah, they said that thing was lit. I saw that on Instagram, and I said, "What the
we were
fuck?"
interviewing people during that time.
Yeah,
we were
busy.
interviewing.
We was working.
I think we were doing we were interviewing Spinox
and Black Frog
and Black Frog Brewing. So we were interviewing people doing that bottle share. So we missed it.
Oh, really? See, that's a Smitty. I know Smitty came there.
He might have.
He might have came after.
After, yeah.
Yeah.
We were at the we were at the hotel, at the main hotel where they had the panel discussion and everything the night before.
Okay.
That's where we had set up because we kind of had looked at the agenda and saw that, hey, this is the main hub where everybody's going to be. You know, it was
Jackson Street said, "Fuck that! This is where you're going to be."
Right,
Right, you're going to be over here.
Our production on the road. You know what I mean? To the degree that
was our first time too.
We had put together a whole interview schedule, and we had to. Some of it we had to fly off the seat of our pants because location had changed. People had stayed longer at the beer share event or whatever than they were expected to and couldn't make it, and so we had to turn on the dime and make it still happen. So that's how we ended up over at the hotel and plopping and basically.
Next time we recording from the beer.
That's what I was about to say.
You need to come to the beer share next time. It was weird that you guys were there. You know what I mean? That you guys were there, everybody was there. Isn't there what is her name? Shaggy
with us for a little bit.
Her and her.
We met her at the Delaware Beer Fest, and then we saw her again at the Fresh Fest, and she helped us with filming and everything. Shout out to Shaggy. I appreciate that. Most of our pictures that we posted was
beer. Alicia? Is her name Alicia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because she was walking around there. She was like, black. She's like, Black from Chicago. I was like, oh my goodness, what's her? It's black. What is hers? Black
craft lovers or something.
What it is?
Black craft beer lovers.
Black craft beer lovers.
We had a good time, and I was like, it was a wonderful time putting the face with the name.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
It's like a big black craft beer family reunion.
Family, right? Yeah,
that's what it was.
And that was with no fights.
Right. Yeah, right. It was all love.
No fights. Forgot about that. No fights, guys.
All love. Now, I know you said a lot of people don't want to brew beer, but are you speaking on yourself, or have you tried to brew beer?
No, I've never tried to brew beer. I've been around people who have come to Black Brew Chicago's events. Mm-hmm. They have gotten inspired to brew beer. Actually, I just have never thought about it. Maybe it's because I'm too impatient for that. They asked me to hold a beer for 30 days. I'm like, no, you have to hold it because I'll drink it. I don't care what.
You don't care what point is that.
And let me just backtrack, Rob. What I meant when I said a lot of people don't want to brew beer is what I've noticed is that when people are entering the job force at the breweries, they may just be of service. They just want to be. They've worked in the food industry and just want a job. And they're not necessarily wanting to brew beer, but I want to always encourage them to at least get the experience. And maybe you don't know it, but while you're there getting education, whether you use it or not. Right. Yeah, so that's what I know.
Okay, that's what's up.
Because the breweries also, I have one brewery that I'm working with right now. They're even willing to allow Black and Brew Chicago people, which they're going to offer to everybody. They have a forklift certification. And the way I look at it, I'm going to try to push people there because it's like, okay, you can get your CBS for free. You can get your forklift thing for free. So even if you don't you have 3 or 4 certifications that you can go on to better things. And that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's what's up. That is dope. I don't have a theme song music, but I guess it is time for Would You Rather.
You don't have no theme
song? Our theme song guy, sound effects guy. What's up? You ain't got
go ahead. Go to sound effects.
Oh shit! I'll just sing something.
What you gonna sing?
Would you rather?
Yup.
Go ahead. Bust it out.
Rather. That's it. Go ahead.
That shit. Boo.
Uh,
Now you need to make the gong noise for your damn self. Gong.
right, because he sounded like me.
Yeah. It sound like
That's all I did. That's exactly all I did. It mocked you.
Oh, all right. All right. Here is would you rather. Number one, would you rather have the ability to see 10 minutes into the future or 150 years into the future?
So okay, how many minutes into the future?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Do I still live? I was about to say I still live to be about 70, 80.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I did
150 years.
Yeah, 150 years. I'm not gonna be alive for that. I don't care.
I don't care, but I can give somebody some insight and set them up.
That's true.
No,
that's true.
Listen, I don't want to live with all that damn anxiety.
when does the Powerball thing close?
I wouldn't be worried about shipping that 50.
You wouldn't do nothing with the Powerball thing because it already closed before they actually hit the numbers hit.
It closes 10 minutes before.
No, it closes.
10 minutes.
It closes a while ago.
Closed more than 10 minutes before. Okay,
yeah.
Like
give me 150 years.
It closed like 9:45, and then the Powerball is like
11. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
sure.
I think I would rather see 150 years in the future just to see, make sure I know what's good. Like, hey, my legacy to see if my great grandchildren are doing all right.
I think they would, because with that theory of the Powerball, you could just find the Powerball number and give it to your kid.
That's true.
There you go.
Yeah, if I got 150 years into the future. Hold on.
Wait,
can I say the whole
directly to 150 years? Yeah, that's what I was going.
Or is it at 150 years from today? That's
you can see ahead 10 minutes. You're gonna see ahead, fast forwarding 10 minutes ahead, or 150 years ahead. You can see it all.
Yeah, I think it's just 150 years.
Yeah, I like that.
I think it's just
because I don't want to see if I get arthritis. I don't want to see none of that.
You gonna see how you die and everything.
Yeah, you gonna see how you die. But you might see that. You might see that
in 10 minutes.
I prefer to walk around and be like, "What's that? Oh, it feels like something." Yeah.
Can we pass? Is C an answer? C.
But actually, that is a good
That's
point.
a good one.
If you could see every year.
Yeah,
of that 150 years, then I would rather see 150 years. That way, you can play the Powerball.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, that would be different. But if it's just that you go from today to 150 years from today, then like
the worst thing is though, if you see that 10, because you know in 150 years from now you're dead. But that 10 minutes, like shit, I'm not here in 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I don't want to see none of that. Nope. I'm good, Rob. I'm good.
For the next 10 seconds.
I think
like, oh shit, I got 9 minutes to live.
I think that 10 minutes ahead might be a bit more jarring than the 150 years ahead, because no, I just think of like anything, things change at the blink of an eye, right? So I think you would be a little bit even more jarred or surprised by like what's happening 10 minutes ahead, like, or you could something that you thought of, and it's like, how things you think of and it come to fruition, you'd be like, what the fuck? So I think that 10 minutes might be a little bit more.
What if it's like you look 10 minutes from now and this boring as shit, you just sitting in traffic, changing the station.
At least you know Take a snack, nigga.
Yeah, because Devin was like, it's life changing. 10 minutes from now might be life changing. You just like, I just don't like Para 99. I'm going to WDA.
All I know is my anxiety is over in 10 minutes.
That's true. That's true.
That's it.
All the good shit happens at 11 minutes.
I'm going to fall or whatever. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to cook. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to go to bed.
Right, there you go. What's your next one?
Here's something a little lighter. Would you rather swim in a pool of Nutella or a pool full of maple syrup?
Maple syrup.
I'm going with the syrup. I don't get down with Nutella. Nutella ain't even in my cabinet.
Nutella is delicious.
Nutella's pretty damn good. But I don't think you're swimming in that. That's like peanut butter.
I'm swimming in either one of them though.
I got a very important question.
All of it's waiting. You're waiting.
Go to your cabinet right now. Is that Aunt your mama in there, or is that Nutella in there? Which one?
Well, Aunt your mama ain't maple syrup.
Right.
Well, okay, good point. Good point.
Maple syrup is like $20 a bottle.
I haven't had Nutella in so long. I can't even remember what it tastes like.
Yeah.
I love
Chocolate
Nutella.
cocoa.
I love Nutella.
Yeah,
and
it's like
I
chocolate
love the
and
little
nut.
chocolate
Hazelnut.
balls that have pretty much have Nutella. in
Yeah.
them.
And they have the
Yeah, I
large.
like them too.
I like
Rochelle
them.
Ferreros, is that what
Yeah.
you're talking about? Them
I
Rochelle
call
Ferreros is
I call him
good.
Rochelle
I've
Farrell.
never had it.
Yeah, Rochelle Ferrell, she can sing too.
You never had a
But
Rochelle
she makes
Ferrell?
good candy.
You never had a Rochelle Ferrell?
You never had no Rochelle Ferrell?
Yeah, I know
You gotta-
Rochelle.
No,
What she do?
Rochelle Ferrero, she make candy.
Oh, really?
Yes.
No, that's not the
No,
name
not
of the
really.
candy.
No, not really.
But it's the
I'm
little,
like, well, why did he
You
wish?
know, you talking about the little gold, the gold wrapping, the candy, the round candy is in the gold wrapping with the nuts, with the hazelnuts and the chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we was
It's
talking
like
about
a,
those,
it's
but
like
we don't know what they
it's
call
like a wafer with like this mousse chocolate in it with a like hazelnut in the middle, and it's surrounded by chocolate with other chopped up hazelnuts on. Oh,
Yeah,
it's so good.
yeah.
I mean, I like that, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to swim in a pool of it.
No,
I don't
not
know.
at all.
That
Not at
syrup
all,
sa-
Mickey.
that syrup sounds like a bad deal. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
me
feel like
too.
Listen,
I feel like you're not even jumping into Nutella though. Like, isn't
Nutella?
Nutella so consistent, so dense?
But just think about the syrup, so sticky and like, ugh.
Yeah.
Isn't Nutella
yeah.
gonna be sticky after a while?
Nah,
Like, you're gonna be cleaning Nutella
smooth.
out of places for a week or so.
you're gonna be full of ants.
Nutella's like sand at the beach.
I think you're gonna be full of ants
You
regardless of
gonna
what you're
full of-
swimming.
full of ants.
Yeah, flies, all types of insects. Gonna be Pence on the stage,
Mike Pence.
right on the stage. Vote everybody. Vote Democrat. Everybody.
Vote for that fly ass.
That fly ass lady that was standing next to the
fly
fly
ass
ass.
nigga that was.
Don't vote for the fly ass nigga.
All right. Here's another. Would you rather be in jail for 5 years or
Nope.
be in a coma for a decade?
Damn, give me the 5 years, man.
What kind of jail is this? Is this minimum security? Is this maximum security?
It don't even matter, man.
It does. It matters a lot. It matters a lot.
Wait.
Listen, hopefully somebody loves me and they wiping me down every day. They taking care of me up in there. It's a lot of unknowns. It's a lot of unknowns in jail, man. Jail got a lot of unknowns.
Yeah, but what'd you say, Mickey? You rather be in the coma?
No,
Oh.
I'd rather go to jail. Shit, at least there's be some shadiness. They can get some beer in there some kind of way. We can watch some
You
TV.
gonna be making beer out your toilet. Toilet beer. Mickey make the best toilet beer in section 9.
Cell block.
No.
Cell block 9. Go down there. You get some toilet
If
beer.
you say a coma for
toilet
10
paper.
years,
Yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't rather be in the
10 years.
coma either because you miss it. You're not even experiencing anything. It's just-
anything.
you just there. You've atrophied. You know what I mean? 10 years.
you're right.
You can't even walk. You're like,
Yo, and then so much changes in 10 years that you will not know what the hell is happening when you come
You
out.
won't
It's
even know.
gonna take you a while to get back on top. Yeah, it's gonna take you a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that you put it that way,
Yes.
Well, flip it. What about 10 years in jail or 5 years of a coma? What would y'all choose then?
5 years in a coma, anything that's shorter, I'd be.
if Trump made president, 5 years in the coma.
You put me in a coma.
Yeah, put me in the coma.
That whole ordeal.
5 years.
That's
Damn.
funny.
Shit, no. I don't
What
want to
else,
be.
bro? You got another one?
Yeah. Oh shit, I lost it.
Did we ever don't say what we agree on? Or not agree on, but what we think for the 5 years and 10 years?
Yeah, I think most people said the 5 years in prison.
5 year coma.
5 years in prison. Clink, clink, lock me up.
You going clink clink?
Yeah.
Oh, you want the coma, Devin? You want the coma too?
I take the coma. I don't
It's
want
10 years. It's 10 year
Yo,
coma.
Dev, the coma's for 10 years.
10 years?
I think they said if they switched the coma to 5 years.
Oh yeah. Well, if you switch the coma to 5 years, then maybe you can get
Yeah, I
5
think
year
the coma
coma.
too.
Yeah, I give it a coma
But
too.
if the coma's 10 years, y'all going to jail.
Right. I'm with Mickey.
Yeah.
What if the coma and the jail sentence is the same amount of time?
It
Guess
depends.
what?
Well, it depends on what. Actually, it depends on what jail it is.
Coma gonna be a
That's
whole
what I'm
lot.
saying. Like if it's minimum security, I'm doing 10. I'll do the full. I'll do 11.
Ain't no special circumstances in jail.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but if it's
I need minimum
if it's Martha Stewart
security, solitary
Stewart-
confinement.
right, if it's
Right,
Martha
I'm saying
Stewart
Martha
jail,
Stewart jail.
if Martha Stewart jail or Rikers Island, I need a coma.
Right. Can I have a garden outside? Like,
Yeah. No,
Right.
right?
If it's Rikers Island, I need a coma. I'm taking a coma.
Give me the coma. I do not want any part of that. I am not built for that.
Okay, what was the next one?
Best I'll take it.
I'll take all the atrophy. Give me all the atrophy.
All right. This is kind of, I guess it kind of falls out of everybody's thing, but would you have another 10 years with your partner or one night stand with your celebrity crush?
One night stand with my celebrity
One
crush.
night stand with my celebrity.
10 years with my partner.
Shout out to Erica.
10 years with my partner in a one night stand.
I want
You better
both.
say
I
that.
want
You
both.
Right.
That's
You said you want both?
Yeah, I said both. What you say, Nikki?
if you married, you better say with your
Absolutely.
I know. That's why I said both.
He gonna give the wave and everything.
I ain't waving at her, but shit.
Hey Rob,
Yeah.
throw that question out. Move on.
Derek can't handle that. Adrian, you're out of here for one night.
Right.
that's gonna get you to 10-year coma.
Exactly. There's
One
no
5-year jail sentence.
Jail.
Hell, that was nasty.
Rob wife on it.
Yeah,
I'm like, you
that's why
married?
he said it so fast. He knew she was listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he said that. If she wasn't listening, he'd have been like, he probably gonna cut the podcast off and be like, "Yo, I changed my mind. I want that one night with my celebrity crush."
I want 3 one night
But
stands.
see, that's the thing. Now I don't know what my celebrity crush that would be. So
Which one? That's why he need like he need a week's worth.
Look, I'm Jamie Foxx and T-Pain. I'm blaming it on the alcohol right now.
That's not how that works.
Final answer.
Oh, God.
Here's another one. Would you wear the same socks for a month or the same underwear for a week?
Give me the socks. Give me the socks.
Oh man,
We know how all that.
My feet be stinking. My ass is cleaner than my feet, Joe. I might wear them same drawers.
yeah, that's what I'm about to say. And a week is a week, and socks is a month. Like, ugh,
No.
3 extra weeks. Like, yo, your socks. When you taking off them nasty drawers, you still got 3 more weeks of them socks.
Wait.
Yeah, that is true.
Y'all seen
I'd rather
Kingpin though, right? Y'all seen Kingpin?
No.
Yeah.
Y'all seen it? Y'all saw the beginning when what's his name? Woody Harrelson had to sleep with his landlord, and she had on them crusty drawers that was gray and green.
Having sex outside the house, like
How many weeks with the draws?
1 week.
1 week. That I just think of sharks. That's all I think. It's
Yeah.
like
I'm just starting in that 1 week, you nasty ass.
I'll tell you one thing, you'll smell. Whereas you can just put
You can get some.
No. I smell people's feet through their sneakers. So
I think
You ain't getting nothing.
Tell them to wear Crocs.
He draws. You can at least still get something with crusty socks.
Listen, bro, it's only 1 week. I could be selling for a week, bro.
my drawers.
It's 1 week.
Look at Peter Guns. Peter Guns had
You take them socks off. You take them socks off to get in the bed. You're not getting no ass, bro. You not getting no ass. You 3 weeks. You 21 days in.
You ain't getting none if you ain't washing 24 hours.
You 21 days in. You
Bro,
can't.
but guess what? Nobody ever said we couldn't wash though. Can you wash your ass and then still keep the drawers on?
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
If you wash your ass and have dirty shit.
If I take
First of all, come on, guys.
Why my drawers gotta be shitty though?
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. What's happening in your life? Yours is shitty in a week.
Mickey need that flip-flop.
Yeah, exactly. Mickey, you speaking the real. And guess what? If you can
I don't
take your
think so.
No, but you can wash your butt and then put.
what
the
if
same
you can
drawers
wash
on.
your feet? Then you
Even
can
if
wash
you wash
your
your
feet.
ass, it makes no
But if you
difference.
wash your feet, that ain't gonna matter though.
Bro,
It is.
that's real.
Good.
That's
And you're
not sweet.
Yo,
That's real, bro.
Hey, what if it rained one day? What if it rained
Yo,
one day?
I'll tell you how to answer this. Ask your significant other, would they rather lick your feet or your balls?
well, guess what? My significant other does not do
That's how you put it.
draws.
That's how you gonna find out.
That's how you find out. Ask them. Ask them after the podcast. Ask them.
Would you rather?
Or your feet. The bottom of your feet.
Yoda.
Balls.
Yoda.
Yoda's a trip.
What she say? What she say?
Babe, balls of feet. Pick one.
Balls of feet.
Ask your wife.
Pick right now.
Ask your wife. What she say?
That's how you find out the answer.
How about I punch you in your face?
Yeah, how about that? Punch in the face.
If she in the mood, I think she'll choose one or the other. That's what I'm saying.
And it was not dirty draws.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that nasty short.
Go ahead, Rob.
Mickey got a new nickname.
Oh, Shorty.
Shorty over there.
She said, "Stop confusing Mickey."
She ain't confused. Mickey ain't confused. She know whether she.
Yeah, she know exactly what she's picking. She's picking them socks. She like them socks.
Here's one. It's kind of somber, I guess, but I guess it's on point. Would you rather die in 20 years with no regrets, or live to 100 with a lot of regrets?
Live with 100. A lot of I ain't gonna remember them anyways.
I feel like you cross the street wrong, you're gonna be regretting it. Like everything you're gonna
100 years. I'm not dying at 62. Hell no.
Real though, like a lot of regrets though.
No,
Exactly.
I feel like your mental health, your mental health gonna be shattered.
Right.
Because a lot of regrets, you're probably gonna die.
Regret on regret.
Are we guaranteed?
You gonna regret that you didn't die when you were 62?
Yeah, you guaranteed to live to 100 years.
We're guaranteed to live 100
years. And then at 20 years from now, you're gonna be like, God damn it, I should have took it. I regret this whole fucking life. I die right now. And you jump off the bridge and you live. You got
you're trying to kill yourself. Regrets and you never die. You're unbreakable.
And I'll be like, damn, and take a shot. Like, damn, I should have done that.
Damn. So we got she got shitty draws. And she's drunk, living to 100 in a nursing home, regretting everything. Word sale.
Shorty for 100 years.
I'm gonna live with no regrets for 20 years because I think by the time I get to 60, I'm gonna have so many regrets, and my mental health is really important to me.
Oh, so you just telling everybody now that you're a bad guy,
right? You
Well, he's saying that if he lived with 100, he's going to have a lot of regrets.
You got regrets every day. It's an either or society. Either I'm going to go to the grocery store today or I'm not. And if you don't go today, you got to go tomorrow. And you may regret that you get like everything is a regret. Everything you don't do.
I get to ramen noodles tomorrow.
Shit, if I don't go to the grocery store today, I save it for another day. That ain't no regret for me.
They don't got what you got. They don't got what you need.
I have.
Listen, I don't want to live regrets.
Mental health is gonna regret not changing them socks.
You're right in the answer. You do have a lot of regrets.
100 years?
That is the answer, right, Rob? Say that again, Rob.
Yeah, you will have a lot of regrets living to 100. It tells you.
Oh yeah.
And you will have no regrets living until 20 years later. I think 20 is good.
20, me too.
Regrets
I know I got 20 years to go bust this shit out. Like in that year 19, I'm settling everything up.
I'll sing it.
You don't have no regrets.
Yeah, I don't have no regrets. Everybody's
you ain't gonna be able to sing at nobody's funeral because you're gonna regret that you're still alive with all them.
At their funeral,
if they call me and ask me to sing at your funeral, I'll sing. But
you can't.
You ain't even collected your retirement check. Fuck no.
Right? I just be like,
that guy do anything.
I'm sorry.
I'm not living for my retirement check. I'm not living for my retirement check. I would love to retire, but I'm not living for that at all.
100 years seems like a lot of time to be like, you know what?
It's gonna be very hard for any of us to live to 100 anyway. So now you 100, you got a good time and up over regret.
Now you should give me all my years, all the regrets. Give me all my regrets and all those years.
Exactly.
Well, you have to remember, 5 of them are going to be in prison for me. So.
and you gotta be in a coma for 10. So you got a month with them dirty socks on.
Damn, Lou, you might want to change yours. You're gonna be in a coma for 10 of those 20 years.
That's true. Now, if that's the case, things do have to change.
Exactly.
I'm gonna regret that I got in that goddamn coma the day I decided to do the 20 years.
Oh my god.
I didn't choose any of this.
Right. Come out with a change from your coma, and then to know that you on a countdown for 10 more years and your ass is gonna die.
Right.
Yeah, but you wouldn't think that because you don't have any regrets.
So what
I
happened?
wouldn't have no regrets. The coma was meant
So
to
you
be.
gonna die?
The
You're
coma
not
was
thinking
meant to be.
about
These 10 years. These 10 years gonna live like 20.
Right. You
Because I'm
don't
having
think
a-
about that.
every
You have no
day.
regrets.
Ain't no legacy.
None of that
Ain't no
matters.
legacy to leave.
5 years jail, 100 years regrets. I ain't gonna know the difference when I die.
Yo, you just got a bad life, yo. Mickey, you might need to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Your life is horrible.
Take your mental health now, Mickey. Take your mental health
5
right
years in jail, shitty drawers.
now. Socks that stink. I like my socks.
Rob.
Huh?
You got any more?
You got any more?
Yeah. It's an interesting one. I don't know. Would you rather run at 100 miles per hour or fly at 20 miles per hour?
Fly.
Fly.
I'm lazy.
Hey, I definitely want to fly.
Yeah.
Fly.
Because you see
Fly.
more. You don't see
Yep.
anything at 100 miles an hour.
Nope.
You don't gotta worry about people in your way.
All right.
Right. Because you got to do a lot of negotiating if you're running 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, you can run on the highway.
But
Running 100 miles
it's
an hour
a car on the highway that's going 55, Devin.
I do 100 on the highway at times when I'm by
Yeah, it ain't a
myself.
lot of y'all though. It's just
Right,
a
but
car.
you
It's a car that's going slow as shit.
Right.
And you
it's not
got to
necessary that
negotiate
you
him.
go.
Now you a person running that
fly
fast.
and you good. I
Yeah.
would
You can do
rather,
a lot of sightseeing.
Cover a lot of canvas.
Yeah.
right. I'd rather see the
open-
the landscape.
Open
Yeah.
world.
Look, we
100
do
miles
20.
an hour.
We do 20 miles a day. We good. Like, we'll
Right.
get there. We'll get there.
I feel like,
Did you see that landscape today?
dream.
Did you see the scenery?
Yeah, when I dream, I always dream of like flying. So
Mhm.
like I would like the idea of flying.
Wait, like
So everybody flying?
like your body flying or like being in the air?
Yeah, like I dream in my dreams. I think of flying.
you
What, you
dream
Peter
about
Pan?
being a superhero or some shit? Like, what is this?
I'm telling y'all a part of my dream, nigga.
Or Peter Pan. Or Peter
The last
Pan.
time
You
you
could be
dreamed
Peter
about
Pan.
flying, Devin, what were you into? What was going on?
I think, you know what? I think I probably, and to be honest, I think it was probably like, this wasn't like recent, but I always think of like almost like an escape route. Like if you're like running or like you're like trying to get away or something like that. Like if you have the ability like to run and like to fly, who the fuck can catch you? You know what I mean? Like,
Yo, you know what? I think you might need marriage counseling. You trying to get away from your wife? That's what I mean.
Nah, I think Yoda, I think he really is. I think he really thinks he's a superhero in his dreams.
maybe. Yeah.
I definitely. He's like, I'm getting away. You know what? I'm just
You
gonna
gotta
fly.
say every
Yeah,
dream.
I would prefer to fly because you can
Yeah.
actually sightsee and shit while
Yes,
you fly.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
right. That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, like because running, hell, that's a heart attack. And
Do you get tired? Is it the Flash? Like, are you the Flash, or are you just like a regular nigga running around 100 miles an hour and then you breathing hard because you smoked a lot of cigarettes when you was 18?
Yo, let me tell you. I just looked it up. Just that quick. When you dream about flying, it means you normally feel unhappy in walking life and that you are totally out of control. Dreaming of flying is the air.
you fall for that, Yoda.
Dreaming of flying in the air
are
only happens when one feels
100%
somewhat
wrong.
out of control in life.
You're a trip.
Flying is the most dream books represents your own ambitions that you are flying high in life. So you need to get away so you can spread your wings and fly. I don't know away from what, but
You know what you need to get away from? No bullshit.
We
The
need to get-
iPhone 3.
Oh, that was-
yeah, maybe that's what it is. It's a sign. Get rid of that iPhone.
I think everything in his life is perfect. I think everything in Devin's life is perfect except
We
that.
need to get AC
Nigga,
back
I
on.
got the
I
same
always dream about.
He is you. You
No,
just
you
got
don't.
you
No,
just
you
got
don't.
the
No, you
2020
don't.
version.
No,
I
you
got
I
don't.
dream about getting lost. So,
No,
so
you
I don't know
don't.
what that means.
You already
I
dream
dream
about getting lost?
Yeah,
Did you look it up?
I didn't look it up.
Hold on. I'll be right back.
Hold on.
Don't worry about it.
Oh,
Well, not.
well,
I always
Devin,
can't
that
find
was a
my
hard
way.
one.
Find my way back to where I'm supposed to get. I think that I can't find my destination. That's
You
what.
answered it for him, Rob. You don't need to
Yeah.
look it up. I got it.
All right, one more. One more.
To dream of being lost.
Not fast enough, Rob.
To find your way through a situation that is unfamiliar or making you insecure. Uh-oh.
Oh,
You may be
Leave Devin alone.
strange or scared. No, this is for Rob.
Oh, this is me.
See, I pay them 0. I give them 2 ounces of my time.
Oh, there you go. You're not alone.
Oh my God.
I know her.
Fly
So
all the
she's in
time.
the same situation.
He's like, I do know this lady. I know why she likes to fly.
Yeah, you can go on with the next one.
Like, oh my God.
Look, R. Kelly wrote a song about it.
I believe I can fly. Okay, this is the last one. It's an easier one. It probably, I don't know. It's interesting. Would you rather party with Jennifer Lopez and Alex Rodriguez or Kim Kardashian and Kanye West?
Give me J-Lo.
Jennifer Lopez and who's her husband?
A-Rod. Give me them. They a lot.
Yeah, I prefer to hang out with them.
Oh, we saw her 50th birthday party. I'm going to party.
Yeah, I'll be with J-Lo because
that was easy. That one was easy.
Kanye.
Her party list.
Yeah, I was about to say, what year is this? Is this 2004 Kanye?
That's what we in right now.
Okay, that's a good question, Lou.
Well, he wasn't even with Kim
wasn't
Kardashian.
with Kim Kardashian. So
he wasn't. He's never been cool and been with Kim. I don't think.
Right. So I want when they were friends.
Right. But ever since the
babies
came
on the show when he used to appear, he was awkward then.
Yeah.
He was. I would say J-Lo and A-Rod.
Me too.
I think everybody's on the
same page. Their guest list would be lit too, I believe.
I was just
what is J-Lo wearing? What is J-Lo wearing?
Oh, you know what she wearing, bro.
I would like to ask A-Rod, like, how'd you do it, bro? Like, how did you get it?
Because A-Rod and J-Lo did the
$500 million in the bank.
No, not how did he get J-Lo? Like, he was the steroids and everything. Now he like their number one MLB guy. Like people be running to Alex Rodriguez for their MLB knowledge, but he was all caught up in the steroid era.
Yeah, but before he was in the
he got suspended for like 120 games.
But before he went to the Yankees, he was that dude in the Seattle and then in Houston. Right. So that's why
he spent more time with the Yankees than he did with those other teams, and he did the PED. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The last thing you know of him playing baseball, he sucked, and he did the PEDs to get.
He's J-Lo's husband right now, so that's all.
I would definitely say J-Lo and A-Rod.
So you think I'm thinking J-Lo kind of helped get him to the commentating.
Man, J-Lo can help get
right. That's what I'm saying. She can help anybody get anywhere.
J-Lo can get him into heaven.
Yeah. We're going to heaven him there every night.
Oh man.
You never because if she didn't want her first husband to write about to do the book about their relationship and their sex life. That probably is right. So she probably going all the way up.
Yeah, she like floating up there like the damn ghost.
Yes.
I'll be with them like, yeah. So what is that?
All right. Well, I think that was all my questions. Actually, I did have another question, and this is not. But you said you were a train developer. I heard that, but what is a train developer? Did you say that?
Yes. So I'm a master's level instructional designer. So what we do is we design training developments like the people. If you go on websites and you see do it yourself or people that's training you anything, I actually develop trainings for other people to do, even down to what you say. So I could tell the trainers what to say, what to do. We do any of your HR like documents.
Yeah,
we do all of those. If somebody's doing a training and it's a really professional training, like on WebEx or what have you, we develop all the slides. And that's why, have you ever been to a training and you be like, damn, this person don't know what the hell they talk about? That's because they didn't do what they were supposed to do and read.
Pre-training.
No shit. And then we develop a training that was about it, and then they trying to act like they know what they talk about and they don't know the answers to it.
They put that on the parking lot whenever you got a question. Oh, we'll put that on the parking lot.
So I'm the back person who takes the information and creates the trainings.
Well, that's good. That's good to know, because next time I'm in a meeting and people act like that, I'm like, can I speak to the training developer?
Yeah.
Person really knows what the hell's going on here.
You ask them if they spoke
to teaching people how to learn about beer. That's why I know what to ask the brewer for.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Gotcha. There you go. There goes the secret
Right.
behind Black and Brew. There it is.
That's right.
There it is. Yeah.
Special sauce.
But it's just like she said in the beginning, like use what you do. Like you don't have to be a brewer to be in the brewer community. You can do things and help out the Black beer community. And that's exactly what you're doing, using your career and your job to do your hobby and extend your business. Yeah, that's dope.
Oh yeah, it's dope. And then I get to meet people like you guys.
Yes,
So
even doper. Even
get
doper.
drunk and talk about when I'm gonna die.
Yeah, I know, right?
And
With
grow
your
the
titty
shit.
drawers.
100 years.
And
I'm
have
surprised.
beer.
Yeah. Right.
Some nasty
But
draws.
this is wonderful. I mean, it's something that is more connection. That's all. That's what it's about.
Right, definitely.
You know, and I like it. This is nice.
That's what's
Yeah,
up.
What's up?
It was
Well, I
fun,
want to thank Mickey Bryan, Black and Brew Chicago, for coming
Thank you
on.
so much. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Appreciate
Thank you
you.
guys.
Appreciate you.
And we'll definitely make sure we connect with you offline. I think I know there's a lot more that we can do to expand your brand, your vision into our neck of the woods or our region. And I think that we would pretty much, fit the mold. We fit the bill. We fit the.
Oh yeah. We can definitely work together. And like I said, like even though I probably don't want to go to too many big fests. Coming to Delaware wouldn't mean anything to me, because with a couple of people. So we could definitely talk. So we could talk offline if we not follow. I think I follow all you guys.
Yeah. Okay.
But if we don't,
got some ideas.
We'll talk after that.
Yeah, we got some other ideas just in what we want to do, just kind of down the line, and that we talk about when we're not online or on StreamYard, if you will, or on the platforms.
Okay.
So you'll be excited about what our forward thinking and what we want to add to the platform that we're on.
Also, I do since COVID, I've been hosting Tipsy Taco Tuesday, and another thing is, like I said, as a trained developer, I always like to draw from people's experiences and talents. So we have people come on there, we play games, but we also have people we draw from people's talents. So if we've had wine people showing us what to do. We've had people. I'm down for if you have something going on with your organization. We've had like Angie, the Undeniable Vixen, has come on and showed us how to do different mixed drinks. Because I understand it. It's a whole bunch of people. Everybody's just don't want to talk about beer, all the time. You like this. This was fun.
Yeah.
So if you have something that's going on, if y'all want to check in just to play games and keep that connection.
Okay.
I give people that platform for us to still network.
Good.
And learn about you guys. You know what I mean?
I like it.
And what days did that happen, or how often, or what's the frequency?
Every
Did you say what day?
Taco Tuesday.
So Taco Tuesday, October 13th. The next one. We do it every 2 weeks.
Taco Tuesday normally happens on Tuesdays.
Okay. Well, I didn't hear that part, but good.
But every 2 weeks.
Every Tuesdays. Every second Tuesday.
Every 2 weeks. Okay.
Yeah. And it was actually put together just for us to have some connection, because some people were a little, anxious when COVID went down and there was no connection. And then it just turned into sort of like what this happens to, just turned into like a family affair. And I said, okay, well, let's just start throwing out everybody's talents. And it just turned into a beautiful thing.
Yeah. That's all.
There you go. That's what's up. All right. Before we go out here, we always like to know how people can find you on those social medias or websites and stuff like that. So, Mickey, how can people find you?
Okay, so I am at Black and Brew Chicago on all my on Twitter. On Twitter, no, I'm at Mickey Bryant, but it still says Black and Brew Chicago. But on Instagram and Facebook, it's at Black and Brew Chicago. Our other chapters, we have Black and Brew Cleveland, Black and Brew Youngstown, and my website is BAB Chicago.
Got it.
All right. Dev?
You can find me on Instagram at DevonAaron _the_great.
All right.
Lou?
For all your beer needs, Lou Belgium. I'm on them Instagrams.
All right. And yo?
And you can find me on Instagram at
Right there you go.
302.
Don't let the goofy
I didn't
foot
see
mess
the
you up.
ball dropping over there, yo.
You can find me on Instagram at 302 Yoda and on Instagram and Facebook at Delaware on Grind.
And you can find Bruising Banter Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Bruising Banter Podcast. You can also listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can also say, Alexa, play Bruising Banter Podcast, and we will be there for you. If you want to follow me.
Alexa don't know no damn Google.
That's enough.
Alexa. But you can find Rob at Rob G, Rob_G of BBP.
He's never going to get it right.
It's right there.
You just read it.
It's right here.
BB.
That's terrible.
Yeah, all right.
Follow Rob on Bruising Banter.
It's rarely used.
Bruising banter.
Yeah, it's rarely used. I don't know. And until next time, remember to vote.
Please vote.
Yeah. Vote. Hairs
absolutely.
by hairs.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Have a good week, everyone.
This has been episode 92. Black and Brew Chicago. So until next time, peace.
Have a good week, everyone.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Very welcome. Thanks for being on.
Bye. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
It's lit. Wait for the light, please. Hey.